This is your everyday English class.
Have you ever imagined arriving in another country, walking up to the immigration officer, and suddenly forgetting all your English? You studied for months, you know the words, but when the officer asks you a simple question, your mind goes blank.
If that sounds familiar, don't worry. Today we're going to help you prepare for one of the most important English conversations you can have while traveling: immigration at the airport.
You'll hear common questions like, what is the purpose of your trip? How long are you staying? And where are you staying? You'll also learn simple ways to ask someone to repeat a question when you don't understand.
And here is something important. You do not need perfect English to go through a real conversation. You need simple phrases, good listening, and the confidence to ask for help. So relax and listen carefully. Don't worry if you don't understand everything the first time.
After the dialogue, we'll explain the most useful phrases and vocabulary step by step. So when you hear the dialogue again, it will be much easier to understand.
Hello, welcome to English Cactus. My name is Brian.
And my name is Anna. This podcast will help you practice English in a fun and natural way while improving your listening skills and learning English for real-life situations.
Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support is very important to us, and subscribing means you won't miss our next English lessons.
And leave a comment telling us where you're from. We love seeing people from different parts of the world learning English together.
Now grab your coffee, relax, and imagine that you have just arrived in another country.
Your passport is ready, the immigration officer is waiting, and it's time to use your English. Let's begin.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome. May I see your passport, please?
Of course, here you are.
Thank you. Where are you traveling from today?
I'm traveling from Brazil. I flew from Rio de Janeiro.
All right. And what is the purpose of your trip?
Sorry, could you repeat that, please?
Sure. Why are you visiting the country? Are you here for vacation, work, or study?
Oh, I understand. I'm here for vacation. I want to visit the city, see some famous places, try local food, and practice my English.
Sounds good. How long are you planning to stay?
I'm staying for 10 days.
10 days?
Yes, that's right. My return flight is in 10 days.
Do you have a return ticket?
Yes, I do. I have it on my phone. Would you like to see it?
Yes, please.
Sure. Just a second. Here it is.
Thank you. And where will you be staying during your visit?
I'll be staying at a hotel downtown.
What's the name of the hotel?
It's the Central Park Hotel.
Do you have the address?
Yes, let me check my reservation.
No problem. Take your time.
Thank you. I'm a little nervous. This is my first time going through immigration in English.
That's okay. There's no need to rush.
Thanks. Here is the hotel address.
Perfect. Are you traveling alone?
Yes, I am. This is my first international trip alone.
And is this your first visit here?
Yes, it is. I've wanted to come here for a long time, so I'm very excited.
What are you planning to do during your trip?
I want to visit museums, walk around the city, see the main tourist attractions, and try some restaurants. I also want to practice speaking English with people.
Do you know anyone who lives here?
I have a friend who lives in another city, but I'm not staying with him. I may meet him later this week.
Understood. And what do you do for work in Brazil?
I work in marketing.
All right.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
When you asked, what is the purpose of your trip, is that a common question at immigration?
Yes, very common. You may also hear, what brings you here? Both questions basically ask, why are you visiting?
What brings you here? That sounds different.
It does, but in this situation, it usually means, why are you here?
That's useful to know. Sometimes people speak fast and I don't understand the complete question.
If that happens, simply say, could you repeat that, please?
So it's okay to ask again?
Of course. You can also say, sorry, could you say that again? Or, could you speak more slowly, please?
That makes me feel better. Sometimes English learners think they need to understand everything the first time.
You don't. Communication is important. If you don't understand, ask for clarification.
I study English every day, but speaking to a real person feels very different from studying at home.
That's normal. Real conversations can feel fast at first. Keep practicing. You're doing great.
Thank you. I needed to hear that after such a long flight.
Speaking of your flight, did you check any bags?
Sorry, did you say check any bags?
Yes. Did you give any luggage to the airline before your flight?
Oh, yes. I checked one suitcase. I also have this backpack with me.
Did you pack your suitcase yourself?
Yes, I did.
And are you bringing any food, plants, or animal products with you?
I have some cookies and chocolate, nothing fresh.
Do you have anything you need to declare?
I know the word declare, but I'm not completely sure what it means here.
No problem. At an airport, declaring something means officially telling customs about certain items you are bringing into the country.
So if I'm not sure about something, I should ask?
Exactly. Rules can be different depending on the country. If you're unsure, ask the customs staff and follow their instructions.
That makes sense. It's better to ask than to guess.
Exactly.
I don't think I have anything special to declare.
Okay. How much luggage do you have?
One checked suitcase and this backpack.
You'll collect your suitcase at baggage claim after you finish here.
Baggage claim. That's where I collect my suitcase, right?
Correct. Follow the signs for baggage claim. Then check your flight number. It will tell you which carousel to go to.
Sorry, what does carousel mean?
It's the moving belt where you collect your suitcase.
Oh, I understand. So I check my flight number and find the correct carousel.
Exactly.
Airport English has a lot of special words.
That was a really useful story. Daniel arrived feeling nervous, but little by little, he became more confident. And that is exactly what we want you to feel when you use English in real life.
Yes, and before we continue, we want to say something quickly. We work hard to create these lessons and make them available for free. If these episodes help you and you would like to support English Cactus, please subscribe to our channel.
Thank you for being here and learning with us. Now, let's look at the conversation again, because Daniel and Officer Miller used many phrases that you can use at immigration and around the airport.
We'll start with the most useful phrases. After that, we'll explore important airport vocabulary, and finally, we'll talk about some cultural and practical things you should know when traveling.
And remember, you don't need to memorize everything today. Listen, repeat the phrases you like, and keep going. You're doing great.
Let's start with the first important moment. Officer Miller said, "May I see your passport, please?" This is a very common and polite way to ask someone to show a passport.
Exactly. May I see is useful in many situations. An airport employee might say, "May I see your boarding pass?" A hotel employee might say, "May I see your ID?" You don't need to give a long answer. Daniel simply answered, "Of course, here you are."
Here you are is a very useful expression when you are giving something to another person. You can give your passport and say, "Here you are." You can give your boarding pass and say the same thing.
Then Officer Miller asked, "What is the purpose of your trip?" This is one of the most important questions in the dialogue. The word purpose means the reason for doing something. So the officer is basically asking, "Why are you visiting?"
Daniel didn't understand the question immediately, and his response was excellent. He said, "Sorry, could you repeat that, please?" English learners, remember this phrase. You do not have to pretend that you understand.
Yes, you can also say, "Sorry, could you say that again?" Another useful option is, "Could you speak more slowly, please?" These phrases can save you when you are nervous.
Officer Miller then explained the question in a simpler way. Why are you visiting the country? Are you here for vacation, work, or study?
And Daniel answered, "I'm here for vacation." That is short, natural, and clear. Depending on your real situation, you could say, "I'm here for work," or "I'm here to study," or "I'm here to visit my family."
The important thing is to understand the structure. I'm here for, or I'm here to. For example, I'm here for vacation, and I'm here to visit my sister.
And of course, at immigration, always answer with the real information about your trip.
Next, Officer Miller asked, "How long are you planning to stay?"
Daniel answered, I'm staying for 10 days. Very simple. You can change the number according to your situation. I'm staying for 5 days. I'm staying for 2 weeks. I'm staying for 1 month.
Later, Officer Miller showed us another version of the same question. How long are you here for? That is important because native speakers can ask the same thing in different ways.
Exactly. Don't panic because the words changed. How long are you staying? How long will you be staying? And how long are you here for? Are all asking about the length of your stay.
Then, Officer Miller asked, "Do you have a return ticket?"
Daniel responded, Yes, I do. I have it on my phone. Would you like to see it? That is a very useful response because Daniel answers the question and explains where the information is.
You could also say, "Yes, here it is," or "Yes, I have the confirmation on my phone."
After that came another very common question. Where will you be staying during your visit?
Daniel said, "I'll be staying at a hotel downtown." Again, this is a simple model that you can personalize. You could say, "I'm staying with my sister," "I'm staying at a hotel near the airport," or "I'm staying at an apartment downtown."
Officer Miller also asked for the hotel name and address. Daniel needed a moment to find the information, and the officer said, No problem. Take your time.
I really like "take your time." It means you don't need to hurry. You may hear this when someone sees that you need a moment to find something or think about an answer.
Daniel then admitted, I'm a little nervous. That is also okay to say. Sometimes being honest about being nervous can make the interaction feel easier.
Later, Officer Miller asked, "Are you traveling alone?" Daniel answered, "Yes, I am." You may also hear, "Are you traveling by yourself?" They mean basically the same thing.
And if you are not traveling alone, you could say, No, I'm traveling with my family, or I'm traveling with a friend.
Another useful question was, "What are you planning to do during your trip?"
Daniel explained that he wanted to visit museums, walk around the city, see tourist attractions, and try restaurants. Notice how simple his verbs were. Visit, walk, see, try. You don't need advanced vocabulary to explain your travel plans.
Now, let's move to a very important airport phrase. Officer Miller asked Daniel, "Did you check any bags?"
Daniel wasn't sure what he heard, so he repeated part of the question. Sorry, did you say check any bags? This is another excellent strategy. You can repeat the part you heard and ask for confirmation.
Here, "check a bag" means giving your suitcase to the airline so it travels in the baggage area of the plane.
Daniel answered, I checked one suitcase. I also have this backpack with me. That clearly explains what luggage he has.
Then came the question, "Do you have anything you need to declare?" Daniel didn't fully understand the word declare, so he said, "I know the word declare, but I'm not completely sure what it means here."
That is a great example of real communication. Sometimes you know a word, but you don't understand its meaning in a specific situation.
Officer Miller explained that at an airport, declaring something means officially telling customs about certain items you are bringing into the country. The exact customs rules depend on the country, so travelers should always follow the official instructions.
Daniel gave us a good lesson here when he said, It's better to ask than to guess.
Absolutely. If you don't know whether something needs to be declared, ask an official. Don't guess.
Then, Officer Miller told Daniel, You'll collect your suitcase at baggage claim.
Daniel checked his understanding by asking, "Baggage claim, that's where I collect my suitcase, right?" This pattern is very useful. You can repeat the information and finish with "right" to confirm that you understood correctly.
Then, Officer Miller mentioned the carousel, and Daniel asked, Sorry, what does carousel mean?
Another excellent phrase, "What does blank mean?" is one of the most useful questions an English learner can know. You can use it anywhere.
Later, Officer Miller gave Daniel a very important lesson. Simple English is often enough. For example, Excuse me, where is gate 24?
Or simply, "Can you help me, please?" You don't need to create a beautiful, complicated sentence when you are lost in an airport.
And if someone is speaking too quickly, could you speak more slowly, please?
Remember those three. Could you repeat that, please? Can you help me, please? Could you speak more slowly, please? They can help you in many situations, not only at an airport.
Finally, when Daniel was ready to leave, he asked, "So, am I all done here?"
All done is a natural way to ask if something is finished. Depending on the situation, you could also ask, "Is that everything?" or "Can I go now?"
Officer Miller answered that everything looked fine and told him to continue to baggage claim.
And Daniel ended the conversation politely. Thank you so much for your patience and your help.
That is a great sentence when someone has taken time to help you.
Now that we have reviewed the main phrases, let's focus on vocabulary. Airport vocabulary can look difficult because you see many words at the same time, but you only need to learn the most useful ones first.
Our first important word is passport. Your passport is the official travel document you use when traveling internationally. At immigration, you may hear, "May I see your passport?" or "Please have your passport ready."
And a simple response is, "Sure, here you are." Keep your important travel documents easy to access when appropriate, so you don't have to search through everything while someone is waiting.
Our second word is boarding pass. A boarding pass is the document, paper or digital, that contains important information about your flight and allows you to board the plane.
You might hear, "May I see your boarding pass?" You might also need to look at your boarding pass to find your gate or other flight information.
That brings us to our third word, gate. A gate is the airport area where passengers wait before boarding their flight.
A very useful question is, "Excuse me, where is gate 24? You can also ask, "Has the gate changed?" if you think your flight has moved to another gate.
Our fourth important word is baggage. Baggage means the bags and suitcases you travel with. You will also hear the word luggage, which has a very similar meaning.
At many airports, you will see the expression baggage claim. That is the area where passengers collect checked bags after arriving.
Our fifth word is customs. Customs is connected to the control of goods and items entering a country.
This is where the word declare becomes important too. To declare an item means to officially tell customs about it when required. If you are unsure about a rule, ask the appropriate airport official.
And that brings us to the end of today's lesson. Today, you learned how to handle one of the situations that can make English learners very nervous: speaking English at immigration and at the airport.
We practiced important questions like, what is the purpose of your trip? How long are you staying? Where are you staying? And are you traveling alone? We also learned useful airport words like passport, boarding pass, gate, baggage, customs, connection, and delayed.
But maybe the most important lesson today was much simpler. You don't need perfect English to communicate.
Exactly. If you don't understand someone, say, "Could you repeat that, please?" If the person is speaking too fast, say, "Could you speak more slowly, please?" And if you need assistance, a simple, "Can you help me, please?" can be very useful.
So keep going. Study English every day, learn something new, and remember how much progress can come from a little practice every day.
And tell us in the comments, have you ever spoken English at an airport? Were you nervous? And if you traveled tomorrow, which phrase from today's lesson would help you the most?
We really want to hear your answer. And if this lesson helped you feel more prepared, subscribe to English Cactus so you can continue practicing real-life English with us.
Share this episode with a friend who is learning English or planning an international trip. You can practice the airport conversation together and help each other become more confident.
Remember, your English doesn't have to be perfect for you to use it. Start with what you know, keep practicing, and keep improving.
Take care, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone!